Welcome back, everyone, to another Kaiserreich update. And this time, we're going to take a look at the 0.8.4 update that just, came out, which has added Cuba and a few other countries around here. So we're just going to take a look at it very quickly today. Very, very quickly. This is completely blind. I have not seen this update yet. I do not know how it is. Do not know what to expect. But yes, the countries that have been updated are Cuba, the Dominican Republic, and West Indies, which before did not have focus trees, but now do. And another country that was technically supposed to be updated was Haiti, but they couldn't make it. Also, all these countries were supposed to be in the first 0.8 release, however they didn't make it, so yes, they've been a while coming, and can't wait to see what's gonna happen, because Central America, always a fun place. This is gonna be added to the whole host of other countries that are around here, and come on. Alright, here we are. La Bella Antillana, or La Bella Antillana, whatever. Bloody Spanish people. Ooh, naming and rename. Oh, okay. From now on, we offer our players two modes of playing the game. In the first of which, state and victory points used anglicized names, exonyms, for ease of understanding. We have, however, also assembled a plethora of Latin transliterated native names, or endonyms, along with a renaming of those native names when state ownership changes in previous versions of Kaiserreich. Which would you like to choose? Okay. So the endonyms is just... yeah, okay, I see. So everything is a little bit more. How cool. And if I were to take the British exonyms, it would probably be all different. Okay. Okay, how interesting. How very interesting. How very interesting. And yeah, right, they've renamed a few things as well, like German East Asia, AOG, and I believe something else got renamed. Yeah, Middle Africa is just called Middle Africa. Don't see any other weird renamings, but yeah, it's kind of fine. It's kind of real fine. But yeah, let's get to the meat and potatoes of it all. Actually, first, I'm gonna bring up the Reddit thread just in case I miss anything. That's always a good idea, so that I don't embarrass myself too much. Anyway, so yeah, there's Cuba, there's Dominican Republic, and there is the West Indies Federation now. Oh, the West Indies Federation is a federated colony of a foreign power. How interesting. That's a new puppet type. Apparently Kaiserreich has now begun using puppet types. Yeah, unfortunately none other seems to be around. Puppet, autonomous puppet. Yeah, it would be great if other unique puppets were around. But yeah, apparently there is a unique puppet type, which is the Federated Colony, which is extra trade, Overlord trade cost, and civilian industry to Overlord, minus 10% stability. Okay, so it is very much focused on the economy. Anyway, so yeah, Cuba. Let's check out this focus stream. Socialist revolution is possible. Red Nation, because of course. Or March on Havana. National Populist paramilitaries organize. Or Socialists consolidate power. The strike expands. Order restored, military steps in, so that's the paternal autocracy. That is the paternal autocracy kind of thing. Chicago boys. Prohibition? What? Wow. Wishing to diversify their income, many criminal organizations have approached their government offering lucrative trade deals in exchange for safe harbor. Tropico. Wow, that's pretty great. And then you have, Point Diaz. Then you have the democratic things, Unionista, which is what you start off with, actually. Social Democrats. You've got liberals and Republicans, which are market liberals. Of course. Free society, commercial nation. How great. Foreign relations. Really now. So if there's the American Civil War, you can get involved. The Federation. New trading partners, old friends. So they need to accept your diplomatic overtures, and this can be done by any of the Americans, probably depending on which ideology you're actually following. New allies. Oh, Costa Rica, Soviet Russia, Austrian Empire, Dominion of Canada. Holy hell! So it looks like you can get a lot of allies. Independent Air Corps, Blackbeard, of course. The days when the Caribbean Sea was a hotbed of privacy are long past. Keeping with the story tradition, however, our fleets can be specialized in the destruction of enemy trade. Buccaneers, because of course. All right. Oil extraction, steels. Okay, you got a bunch of. Okay, Cuba doesn't seem to be all that bad. Do you have any unique decisions? Doesn't look like it. So yeah, that's that focus tree. Other focus trees, let's check out the Dominicans. The Dominicans get a presidential election. Or a coup. Interesting. All has to deal with President Martinez, it seems. Virgilio Martinez Reina. So the coup is gonna be Viva el Jefe. Long live the leader. Oh god. Rafael Trujillo. Okay. Holy hell. Guided democracy, the Monte Cristi affair. So that leads to the war with Haiti. Aggressive diplomacy. Okay. Very nice, very nice. So that's all normal stuff. Or you could have the democratic stuff, the Phoenix. The new economy. This will unlock once political direction is finalized and Black Mondays happened. Okay. So yeah, doesn't seem to be anything too strange. You're just either democratic aggressive or authoritarian aggressive. So that's that. And then there is the West Indies. Now the West Indies, I know that there's like a lot of paths, but perhaps not all of them are going to show up. So you start off with all the military things with the Entente, obviously, because, you know, the Entente is important. You are in the Entente. Fixing the economy, attempt to sell sugar, the Moon Report. So yes, that's all the Caribbean stuff. Naval situation. Shipments from the Entente. How great. So that's all that. But then there's also the political. So there's the NCP, or the Conservatives. Now, the NCP is the National Consolidation Party, so probably a kind of federalist party. Swearing our loyalty. Oh, they're actually, okay, so they're actually pro... yeah, they're actually pro-empire. There appears to be a mechanic with the empire tension. Strike season. Okay. So current tension with the socialists or with the empire. So you can take a bunch of actions to balance off the Canadians. the Canadians and everyone else. How great! You can actually become a Dominion too, which is quite nice. However, no, it can raise autonomy level. Well, I wonder if there's any way to revoke the autonomy. More integration decisions are enabled. New constitution decisions are enabled. Holy hell. Allow French conscription, the international... Man, there's so many things. Okay, so that's the integration of the French colonies, because obviously the West Indies Federation is a federation of former French, British, and probably Dutch colonies, because I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be Dutch islands in this area. Oh no, Saint Martin seems to be Dutch. But yeah, mostly French and English. So yeah, whoa, you do have a cruiser. That's great. Anyway, so that's that. So the NCP wants to integrate that and increase the loyalty to the Empire. You have the Governor's Push. With the Governor General now possessing extraordinary executive powers, we can finally make a move towards securing the Federation against those who threaten its existence. So that's murder the French. Yeah, and murder the syndicalists. Permanent stability. And you can restore democracy, because of course. Or permanent rule, because why the hell not? Or you can have the Socialist Revolution. Now the Socialist Revolution gets you joining the International, obviously. Socialist Democracy. Or you can be Social Democrat, right? Labour Party, Parti pour l'Autonomie. Yeah, that's Social Democratic. Then there's obviously Radical Socialist and Syndicalist. No Totalist, interestingly enough. Revolutionary Front. Maybe there's like a secret path for that or something. I have no idea. The Butler Party. Yeah. British Citizens and Workers Home Rule Party. Of course. How interesting. Yeah, that seems pretty normal. Or you could have democratic stuff. So, the victory of the PA, which is the Autonomy Party, Radical Social, not Radical Socialist, Social Democratic, and Social Liberal. With that coalition, you can either have a Liberal Party coalition or a PNP coalition, aka what exactly is the PNP? Ally itself with the most socialist elements, People's National Party. Probably part of the Freedom Coalition, most likely. Memories of the Mainland, of course. Reconciliation, progress. So this is increasing tensions with the Empire quite greatly. Declared a confederation. The West Indies Federation becomes free. It will be known as the West Indies Confederation. Tensions with the Empire will rise by 10. I wonder if those tensions rise too much. Should we ever begin to sympathize with these anarchists to a high level, the Governor General could intervene while suppressing them too much will lead to outright revolt. Okay, so yeah. Looks like if you are too hasty with this stuff, you're gonna get overthrown or something. The Popular National Resistance. Of course. The Fringe Revolutionary Front. Or you could just have the Liberal Party coalition. Ideas of a Republic. It's time to adopt a resolution on the subject, declaring the king the patron of democracy in the West Indies. Okay. shall become a more autonomous dominion, still subservient to Canada. Okay, right. So that's the path to become a federated dominion. All right, I see. Or you could just have the unity victory, which is what you start off with. Unity party, market liberal, retain Cayenne autonomy, lower French autonomy, English autonomy, syndicalism, loosen the reins, French ties, British ties. Right, so that seems to be the East Indies. The East Indies definitely has to deal with a lot of problems. Now, or sorry, the West Indies. God damn it. You do have also a lot of not good things. Let's just play a few months as Cuba just to see what, you know, what is the beginning, how does it look like. Let's actually see if I've missed anything. That's probably what I should do first. Yeah, also apparently they've changed the American Civil War again, which I mean they seem to do pretty much every time at this point. And oh, they've reworked and expanded the focus trees of, well, obviously all the states, but also of Bulgaria apparently. So let's check out Bulgaria. So this is all the same. Okay, so there's all this, which is new, which is the minority affairs, either Bulgarization, colonize Muslim regions. This may harm our stability. Okay, or extend the use of Sharia, because of course. Interesting. How very interesting. So it looks like you have some problems with Turkish minorities and stuff. That's not bad. Yes, so let's get this rolling at maximum speed so that we see what happens with Cuba. Military reform, fine. Cuba, A Brief History, Volume 1. Right. So the new regime, while resentful to the United States, was forced to make concessions to the America-backed army to maintain power. By 1935, the coalition of revolutionaries, which toppled Machado, aka Gerardo Machado, or Gerardo, the increasingly dictatorial president and his American puppet masters, so they took them down, was on the verge of collapse. And on election day, tensions between the supporters of the Authentic and Socialist Party, so the Authentic Party, oh crap, Partido Revolucionario Cubano Auténtico, so that's the National Populist Party, and the Socialists, okay, probably just, you know, the Socialists and the Unionista, boiled over in the aftermath of the infamous day when the streets of Havana ran red. The Socialists and Auténticos, who were expelled from Congress, and the moderates of the government Unionist Party, then found themselves the only true opposition to the army's influence. Okay. New elections for both Congress and the office of the presidency are scheduled for the 28th of January, 1936. Okay, so you can go about that pretty quickly. So there's pervasive American influence over here, which is obviously not the best thing ever. No way to like reduce it as you can with Guatemala, or increase it or anything like that, which is relatively sad. Mixed regime. The Cuban military holds a great deal of political power, including guaranteed congressional seats, and is nearly completely unbeholden to the civilian government. Okay. Partial depression recovery. Damn. So Cuba, obviously with the economy that's very heavily integrated with the United States, has to deal with the fallout of the Great Depression pretty much just as much as the United States. So, you know, Black Monday, you don't need to wait for that to get cucked as Cuba. Do you have generals? Yes, you do. Apparently he is a organizer. Oh, great. Limited military reorganization. The Cuban military, despite years of cooperation with American advisors, is not an effective fighting force, lacking for modern equipment. Okay, so the army is incapable of being reformed because it's too intertwined with internal politics. The Air Corps, a largely independent auxiliary section of the army and the navy, could much more easily be effective. Which branch should be the focus of reforms? Huh. How interesting. So, to get the army stuff, you're gonna need to finish. So either a military junta has come to power, or the fate of the officers has been decided, and the initial political tree has been completed. So that's gonna take forever. Then to either reform the Air Corps or the Navy, you are going to require to either take this or wait until you finish the political tree. All right, so maybe we take the Navy, and now we can take the Navy. All right, that's cool. That's interesting. That is nice. Obviously, the Navy stuff is better, most likely. Although you don't seem to get any free ships, which is, well, relatively sad, because you only start with free ships. The 1900 protected cruiser. Yeah, special general election. Okay, so let's see. See how it goes. So the general election, then Havana strife. So that's after Germany's Black Monday. So Vasquez is American-backed and Army-backed. The coalition victory is the New Liberals, or Trejo is re-elected. I wonder if the chaos and general strike stuff is going to be affected by whoever is picked in the election. Let's try to pick the army guy, because that seems like the easiest way to get a bunch of instability and stuff. New cabinet, that is good. Yeah, this is the army's man. So, Partido Progresista. I wonder how long we're gonna have to wait for all this stuff to go on. Oh, okay, so here's Black Monday. We renewed the economic turmoil brought on by Germany's Black Monday and ensuing global economic contraction. General strike and mass demonstrations erupted in Havana. Okay, so yes. Double dip recession, because the German economy has crashed too. Many Cubans now speak openly about the radical proposals of the socialists and the auténticos, and doubt the ability of the government to deal with the crisis. And that's not good. So we just now lose stability and hemorrhage everything else. Havana General Strike. Here it is. So that's the Havana Strike. So dealing with the strike. Okay, so as was feared, the turmoil in Havana has not dissipated. Indeed, it has only grown and has even infected other major cities throughout the country. Worse yet, guerrillas under the command of socialist strongman Juan Bias Hernandez, long relegated to the mountainous jungles of the south, have begun to raid nearby villages. Now, this is kind of a reference to, obviously, the guerrilla war that eventually Castro would end up waging. The syndicalist paramilitary organization Joven Cuba has likewise resurfaced and become a campaign of violence against government buildings and workers. While President Vasquez has successfully appealed to he and Diaz's mutual benefactors in Washington to force the general into suppressing the strike, the turmoil still persists, and it is apparent that Diaz still refuses to commit the majority of his forces. What should be done? So either to hell with Diaz, we will end this alone. So that's General Diaz. Now, General Diaz is the commander of the army, Martin Diaz Tamayo. Or continue to work with Diaz. Okay. So if we continue to work with Diaz, he's still gonna be reluctant, right? To hell with Diaz, we'll end this alone. Might just have Diaz being enacted emergency powers, the non-enacted emergency powers, if the military independently crushes the strike. if the Havana general strike topples the government. Okay, let's see what happens if we continue to work with Diaz. Okay, so that crushes the strike. Alright. If we have the opposite, it is likely going to have the opposite effect. So let's check that out. It's good because it seems like you don't have to do anything too weird to get desired results. So let's check this out. So yeah, that was the strike crushed, which is kind of weird to be honest, because working together with Diaz, like he was saying that like Diaz was reluctant to commit his forces, so I don't know. It seemed like the working together with Diaz part could have led to just chaos because he was not committing his forces, but no, apparently that's that. And then there's, yeah, the Havana general strike, and then there's chaos. Let's try to get that. So to hell with Diaz, we'll end this alone. So chaos. Either the military independently disperses the strikers, or the strikers repulse the army. Okay. Now, obviously, this is pretty linear, so we don't have to explore this one. Let's see if the strikers repulse the army. So the strike expands, and there's two options. Either the socialists consolidate power, or the national populist paramilitaries rise up. Siege. Cuba for the Cubans. Redcoats, mass action, authentic education. Collaborationism. Because of course, a new Cuba. And afterwards, with a new Cuba, you can take the foreign relations. Alright, authentic paramilitaries. So let's see what happens if the Auténticos seize Havana. Yeah, the march on Havana. Cuba para los cubanos. Of course. Oh, wow. Oh, God. That looks like Obama. Like, seriously, holy shit. Look at that. He really looks like Obama. But anyway. So yeah, that's National Populist Cuba. How great. Seems like you have new generals. So that's probably the same with the Socialist Cuba. It's probably the same with the Socialist Cuba. Let's actually see if by insta-completing the focuses, I can see what the foreign policy things are like. So, no compromise with the Americans. Besieging the traitors. Many socialists, including that bastard Guiteras, have taken refuge in what has served as the de facto consulate of the Commune of France since the nation's establishment. We currently do not technically recognize the Commune, and as a result the Communard delegation is not endowed with the legal immunities typically granted to diplomats. Though capturing Guiteras and his ilk would surely be beneficial, domestically and forcibly entering the building technically does not run afoul of any formal international agreement. It would nonetheless surely put us permanently at odds with the Commune and the International as a whole. What should we do? Storm the building. Of course, Cuba for the Cubans. Our party's motto and rallying cry has become a reality. Of course. We do have Fate of Belligerent Officers. Now, I am, right now, hating my life because my desktop bar is preventing me from seeing that. So I'm gonna have to remove it very, very quickly. Anyway, so yeah, just going in either redcoats, which is a paramilitary thing, or mass action. Paramilitaries must be rapidly expanded and their virtue extolled. Then the people of Cuba can be molded to better serve the nation. So, okay, this is... Oh, wow, this is really good. This is a recruitable population, whereas this one is more like political power. I love me political power. Political power is really good. Yes, martial institutions. Martial institutions. How amazing. How amazing. So yeah, you do this, a new Cuba into the future. So it changes, oh, it changes the national focus tree to the national populist. Oh my god. What? How the hell? What? That's really weird. This focus is automatically completed after a month after the tree is loaded. Oh, isn't that amazing? So you get another political tree. Spawns a loyalist division in Havana. A brutal concord. Okay, so apparently you murder some people. Trial of the strikers. Assimilate Afro-Cubans. This will be quite costly for our government. Universal liberty. Oh, wow. The home is the divinely appointed domain of women, yet this role is no less important to our national fabric than that fulfilled by men. Okay. Democracy is a sham. It serves only to empower those who manipulate the people for their own selfish needs. It can only be realized when leadership is unwavering in its conviction to national rebirth. Okay, whatever. Some bullshit. Sorry. Bureaucratic competence. Anyway, yeah, so afterwards you can take all this stuff. So foreign relations. European relations. Alright. The German Empire or the Austrian Empire. Regional diplomacy. Invite only our ideological brethren. All should be given the courtesy. Seems like it's the same. So as the gem of the Antilles, the shining beacon of economic success in an impoverished region, it is our duty to strengthen our diplomatic and economic ties with our neighbors. Hosting a Caribbean diplomatic summit in Havana for a handful of the most important neighbors has the preliminary approval of our government. But to send invitations to even those with whom we hold deep political disagreements is a subject of much debate. So I wonder what would happen with this. And then the Federation. So there's the Federation. Obviously, the Americans haven't exploded yet, so we do not know what the diplomacy with them would look like. United States supports dissidents. Yeah, obviously, because we murdered all their people. So, yeah. Dealing with the socialist leaders, let them rot. Or execute them. And of course. The West Indies Federation accepts economic cooperation. Approval increased by 25. Is it even useful, though? Like, do they even have anything? They have 17 oil and 112 aluminum. So if you ever want to build air forces, that's important to do, apparently. Wait, how can we take this? They're not at war with themselves yet. But, oh well, so yeah, this is basically Cuba. How very nice. The fate of the belligerent officers and improved diplomatic training. Wow, free political power. Fate of the belligerent officers. Okay, so after you, like, execute these guys, you can assess the army again. Right. Okay, so that's Cuba. Just a very quick overview. Looks kind of nice. I'd rather, I'd honestly play it. I'd honestly play it. So yeah, do tell me if you want to see that, and eventually I'll get down to it. So yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this preview of 0.8.4, or actually this, I don't know, overview. Very quick overview of 0.8.4, and again, I hope we'll see you soon. Have a good day, all the good stuff. Yeah, see you.